Hello, my name is Eric. I live in Washington and I'm 27 years of age. Before you guys ask, this is indeed a sock that I have strategically placed onto my microphone to act as a pop filter. Will it work? I don't know. I've just seen some people do it, so I thought I'd give it a shot because I don't have one. So, like I said, 27, name is Eric, live in Washington. And my kind of idea for this channel is going to be documentation of my journey into tech. For a little bit of background, I have no official experience or education in tech. I did a year of computer science in college a while ago, and I'm going back to college in September, and right now it is July, so I have a couple of months, but I'm signed up and I'm ready to go. So that's the current plan. I'm going to go back to school for information technology as well as cybersecurity, because those are the two main fields that interest me right now. I'm not sure which one, if either, I want to stay in for, for the foreseeable future. I just want those right now really, really interest me, and those seem like something that I personally could see myself enjoying into the future, as well as having an increased level of job security. But that's it's important, but it's less important to me. It seems like something, first of all, that I would enjoy. So I would have, not only would I not dread going to work every morning, but I would also wake up motivated to learn more and to be more proficient at my career. So that's really important for me, because not having that drive and that motivation to do that, if it was an industry I wasn't, that I'm maybe not as interested in, like maybe tax law or something, then I might not be able to really test myself and see what I can do, which is a big reason why I wanted to get into tech and cybersecurity as well. There's a lot, the ceiling is very high. So, that was a bit of a tangent, but let's go into a little bit of background. So, like I said, I have no formal education in tech, and I have no experience either. Like I said, I'm 27, so I'd like to think I'm still young and I could easily make that transition. And maybe you're younger than me and you're seeing this and, you just need a little bit of motivation to be like, well, can I really do it? Well, I'm certainly going to try. So, and you have, you might have years on me, so you might as well try. You have plenty of time. Anyways, so a big reason I'm getting into tech is I've just always loved it. In high school, I used to make computers and sell them on eBay. I used to have people reach out to me and say that they had a budget, and they're like, build me the best computer within this budget, and I would do it for them. Sometimes they would say, I want this graphics card and I want this CPU, right? So they have a little bit more knowledge, but maybe not enough to put it together themselves. And they would say, can you do this for me? And I'd be like, yeah, absolutely, I can do that. I'd make it for them. Usually assemble a parts list, send them the parts list. If they had that little bit of extra information, if it was parts that they wanted, then I'd put it together. Otherwise, I would just build it out on the budget and tell them these are the games it's capable of playing around, this FPS, right? So usually pretty simple terms for non-technical people, especially when it was a couple of times like moms who just wanted a system for their kid, right? So I did that. I started that in high school and I did it for years after, and I had a lot of fun doing that. I did that probably up until COVID, just kind of off and on, just whenever I got requests. But back when I started doing it, which would have been almost a decade ago now, maybe not, maybe even a little bit more than a decade ago, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, the start date's a little bit fuzzy, but gaming, at least PC gaming, wasn't nearly as popular as it is now. Nowadays, PC gaming has a huge bit of the market share, and so there's probably a lot more money to be made inside of that industry. But when I started, I'd be building people like $500 machines, which was a lot back then, and I would be making sometimes $30 of profit on that, just because people would come at you with a budget, and you try to make them the best you can. And if you guys know somebody who's in the industry, or somebody who knows somebody who's in the industry, you would really know how cutthroat, how tight those margins are. They're really, really unforgiving. Because while building the computer might only take you an hour or so, ish, maybe less, if you're fairly proficient like I was, you still have to keep that constant line of communication with the person. This is your budget, these are some parts that I think would work, right? Do that research, make sure they're all compatible, be there when the parts come, because you don't want somebody to yoink the packages. This is very expensive equipment sometimes. Put it all together, and then the cable management, right, which can be a little bit unfortunate. So, but I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Even though I got paid pennies, you still do it just because you like it. It's fun. You have a good time. I almost certainly made below minimum wage at the time doing it. And then of course you have some people who are saying they didn't get the right product, and so they try to dispute the whole interaction, and you have to go through all that. But you develop some good people skills, some good de-escalation tactics when you do stuff like that for a living. Anyways, did that for a while, and then I went to college for computer science, like I said, for about a year. And that was fun, but unfortunately I had to cut it a little bit short. And by a little bit I mean a lot, 3 years short, because my mom had some health issues and she needed some help. The plan was to go back. Unfortunately that just didn't end up happening. A lot of years passed, and here we are, and I'm going back. I finally made time, and I'm really excited to start my journey. So as far as where I'm at currently, I have 1 certificate and 2 guided projects done, all on Coursera, as well as another kind of certificate. It's a little bit more complicated than that, and I'll get into that in a bit. So the certificate that I possess is a Google Cybersecurity Professional or Associate certificate. I forget which one it is. I have that one. I acquired that one a couple months ago now, and I did it so fast. I believe when you start on Coursera, they give you like 2 weeks of their premium service for free or something like that. I don't remember. I almost completed it in the 2 weeks, but then I think after I realized I wasn't going to hit it, just because I had a job. I have a job that I'm doing, as well as studying. I couldn't really get it done on time. So after doing that, after missing the 2 week mark, I think I kind of slowed down, and I ended up finishing it in just under a month. And then I completed the 2 guided projects. One was the deployment of a virtual machine and a web server, and the other one was the deployment of the web server and the virtual machine, I believe, were in Microsoft Azure. The one of them was like maintaining data inside of an SQL server, I believe, was the other guided project that I did. It's been a couple months, or like a month or a couple months now, and I've done a lot since then, so forgive me if the information's a little bit jumbled. So I got those. Those are officially completed, and I have those on my LinkedIn. But I also have decided that I thought it would be a good idea to get some Splunk skills. For those of you who don't know what Splunk is, it is a SIM tool. So it just like aggregates security information of your infrastructure. Basically all it does. And it is a very powerful tool that SOC analysts and security professionals at large use. So I was like, okay, let me figure out how to use this. I think it would be useful to do so. And so I looked up on Splunk's website, and they have a lot of free resources. I love it. Free resources, I'll take them. I'll take them all day. And the free resources, they have a lot of courses, and they have certificates. And the cool part is their certificates are basically aggregated information of their courses. So what you can do is you can actually search for the certificate you want, and it says, okay, if you want the certificate, these courses, right, these videos will give you all the information you need. And all of those videos are free on their website. It's really awesome. And the instructors they have are really, really good, in my opinion. That website's a little bit hard to use. It's a little bit difficult to find your courses. And there's not an order. So the one that I did was their like blue team cybersecurity certificate or something. And it's like, okay, here are the courses you need to learn, but it doesn't list them in order. So you might jump in to a higher level video and not realize it, and then you need to try to find the lower level videos and work your way. That's something that I noticed, which is it's a little bit annoying, but for free education, you can, by all means, I'll take it. I'll do the grunt work that it takes to list them in order. But I did that. I did all of their free videos, and then the test, the actual certificate course, they give you little quizzes at the end, so you make sure that you actually retain the information that they teach you, because it's actually really, really good training, and in the tool itself, the Splunk, is quite complicated, but the training's amazing. It's got like everything you could ever want to know. So I did the cybersecurity one, and then I did all the quizzes and everything and all the videos, and then it said to get the certificate, I believe to take it was like $140, $130, which is pretty cheap as far as certificates go. But I more wanted the skills than the badge, because I did not see, when I was looking at job listings, people flagging for Splunk. I saw a couple, but not a lot, and I have a feeling the only people flagging for Splunk were the actual professionals who worked in the SOCs or in cybersecurity who had made the listing, whereas I think most job listings are just either the HR department or some kind of algorithm that looks through it. So if I have Splunk credentials on my thing, nobody's going to care. The only people that are going to care are the people who actually do the job, and those are not the kind of people that are hiring through LinkedIn, it seems. So do I regret spending my time that way? No. I think learning the skills was awesome, and I think it is important, and I know it'll help me if I get a job in the industry. But it does suck to know that, that kind of useful information won't help me get my foot in the door, because I know it's stuff they need, but it's not stuff that is being actively sought out in potential hires. So that's a little bit disappointing. So, a few things that I learned doing what I've done so far, which is more or less what we're caught up with. One, the Google Cybersecurity Certificate. If you take away one thing from this, do not do the Google Cybersecurity Certificate. Eric, why do you say that? Speak on that. Everybody's saying to do it. Everybody says it's great. It is great if you have never worked with tech in your life. If the whole idea of directories and kind of just the basics of computers, like the absolute basics, if you've never troubleshooted a system in your life, and I'm not talking about like going in and like doing some sophisticated troubleshooting. I'm talking about when you get a blue screen, you get an error code, Googling the error code and applying the fixes in order. If you've never done anything like that, if that seems daunting, go ahead and do it. For me personally, and I don't think my level of understanding, like my technical level of understanding, is very sophisticated, or at least was at the time. It's a lot better now, but was at the time. I could have done this in middle school, and I'm not exaggerating or anything. I literally could have done that entire course in middle school. Take that into account. So if you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do the Google Cybersecurity certificate, it may be a little bit too advanced. It's not too advanced. That is not too advanced for anybody on the planet, I promise you. So I would suggest skipping it. I know a lot of people suggest it, but I don't see it being sought out by these job listings. I do see, however, CompTIA Security Plus. And from what I understand, its Security Plus is more difficult, it's more dense, it's more technical, and that might be frightening, and it kind of should be. But if you're questioning, you're like, oh, I don't know if I should do it, I think you should. If you are somebody who has used computers for a good portion of your life, I think you should start there. Start at the CompTIA Security Plus. I don't think Google Cybersecurity, I think that certificate, I don't think it's a good starting point for most people. I think it's beneath most people. I think you can just skip it and go past it. Some people have gotten jobs though, so from it by just having that one. I don't know how. I don't know who would hire somebody with just that level of information, but it is what it is. That being said, the program was amazing. Google set up everything amazing. It was phenomenal. The instructors were great. The structure was great. The pacing was great. It was just the materials was a little bit... It didn't really feel like it prepared me for much. So, there's that. So, that being said, I would suggest Security Plus, but who am I? Just a random guy. It seems like recruiters or hiring managers, the people who actually look at your credentials and your resume, are looking for that keyword Security Plus over stuff like the Google Cybersecurity certificate. So that's what I would suggest if you're like me and you have limited resources. If you're the kind of person where, you know, you still live with your parents and you have a good amount of money, don't take that as a slight, by the way. That's amazing. Try to live with your parents for as long as you can. Pick up a part-time job, even if it's 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week, anything. And then you can pay for these courses super easy. 10 hours a week, that's nothing. It won't inhibit your learning time. Just do that so you can pay for some certificates, assuming your parents can't do it for you. You can do the Google Cybersecurity certificate, then you'll come back to me and like, Eric, you were totally right. This was the easiest thing in the world. Great, because after you complete it, you get a 30% discount on Security Plus. You can do that then, if you really think you need to. So yeah, I would suggest skipping it, but if you really want to, then it's not the worst thing in the world. I thought the program was amazing. Okay, so moving on. What am I doing currently? Right now, maybe about a week ago, and I'm really upset that I didn't start this whole video documentation when I officially started my journey, right when I first started studying the Google certificate. But anyways, I digress. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to do the CompTIA Network Plus certificate. So why am I doing Network Plus and not Security Plus? Well, the thing is that if I do Security Plus, that will certainly help me towards getting a cybersecurity job. That is absolutely descriptively the case. However, if I do Network Plus and get a solid foundation of networking, it will help me get a IT job, as well as helping me indefinitely in my career as a security professional. It will without question benefit me. Understanding these systems is important, and it seemed like something that was kind of lacking in my knowledge, unfortunately, and that's becoming more apparent as I've learned. So like I said, I've been learning for about a week, probably closer to 5 days or so, 5 or so days now, as of the posting of this video, or the time of recording, sorry. And I think I just finished, I think I'm on video, sorry, so when I say I start my journey, I'm doing, is it Dion Training, I believe, is the guy who does the Udemy courses for the different CompTIA exams. I heard he was amazing, and he gives you a discount on his site. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. I'll just do his course. And so that's what I'm doing currently. So far it's been great. He's been really good. I have no complaints. Slides, he's got slides for everything. He goes into good depth about everything. He seems almost like he's got a copy of the exam and he's just going off of everything you need to know. It almost feels that way. It almost feels like cheating, not going to lie. That's how good this training material seemed to be. So, like I said, it started about 5 days ago. I think there are 270 videos in the total course on Udemy. That's the one I bought for around $20, super cheap. So great deal. There might be some good free materials as well, but this one came highly reviewed, so I just bought it. But 6 days, I am about 100 videos in, and there are 270-ish videos, so I'm over a third of the way done in about 15 days. And you're gonna ask, well, did you retain all that information? That's the question. As far as Network Plus goes, I take notes on my phone on an app called Obsidian. I think it's an amazing app. I think it's awesome for note taking, but I've been taking notes on just about every slide. And this is my vault. I don't know if you can see that, but that is Cybersecurity Vault. I put my networking stuff under there. But the basic networking, I've got it pretty filled right now, and a total of 355 files and 103 folders. Like under the OSI model, I have like all of the layers, and then like each one has like if we look under cables, we have copper, coaxial, the connectors, twisted pair connectors, and fiber connectors, all under the media group under layer 1. So right, it's pretty awesome, I think, and I like it a lot. I'm very proud of it. It makes me happy just to see all the progress that I've made. But yeah, very powerful tool, Obsidian. Use it if you're not. But it's incredible. I love it. I've been so excited about my vault and my Obsidian that I've regularly shown my girlfriend my progress, where I'm like, oh, look at my folders and my subfolders, and look at how organized everything is. Because I don't know, it's fun and I take pride in it. But I have it under my cybersecurity vault just because I didn't want to make different vaults for IT and cybersecurity because they're so interlinked. So I just have it in its own basic networking folder. So I'm taking notes on everything. I know that I'm not doing just rushing through the material, because videos that are 5 minutes, I'm pausing, I'm writing it all down. Like I'm taking easily twice the amount of time, maybe 1.7 times the amount of time as the video is long. So 5 minute long video, I'm probably there for like 8.5 minutes watching it, and I watch everything on like 1.5 or X speed too, just because I people tend to talk slow, and in my opinion, he talks slow. Some people think he talks fast. I think personally he talks a little bit slow, so I tend to watch the video a little bit faster. But yeah, so I'm doing that. I'm about a third of the way through. I'm about 5 to 7-ish days into learning at this point. It's going great. I'm loving it. At the end, I'm going to get a couple of practice tests and really make sure that I know the material before I officially take the test, because the test is going to be around $300 something, which is a lot of money for me currently. So I really want to pass it on the first try. And I think I can. I've been struggling a little bit. This is hard. This is genuinely not easy material to try to learn. This is not something I could have learned in middle school, unfortunately. High school, perhaps. There's a good chance in high school, but I've lost all that neuroplasticity. Now I adjust, but this is something, I'm really excited about, and I think it's a very good step in the right direction. So that's where I'm at currently. I had an idea to take the CCNA at first, but I opted to take Network Plus because it was more broad. While Cisco holds a huge market share on kind of networking devices, it doesn't have everything. And so I wanted to kind of get more of a base foundation and then tailor my knowledge to any jobs that I might get. Rather than going in with this heavy bias that's centered around one proprietary product, right? So that was the idea behind Network Plus instead of CCNA, even though I know CCNA goes into more depth in networking and is a little bit more advanced, which is something I would have liked. So I think for the most part, I think that's it for my first video, just kind of explaining who I am and what I wanted this channel to be, and kind of updating you guys on where I'm at. I know this video was long, so I appreciate you guys sticking through it. And that might be it. Yeah, I hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching.